Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Otis Momik, CEO of GamePlay Streaming, and today I want you to consider subscribing to us and for all of your gaming needs. Who are we? GamePlay Streaming is a for-profit LLC that utilizes functional reporting structure in order for our developers to have creative freedom in order to create fun, engaging games for everyone to play. No more spending $60 on AAA games. Our business initiative is to create accessible gaming for everyone via cloud play, which means that you can be anywhere, anytime, and play the game directly from any device you want to. No more paying full price, and no more big downloads. Overview. GamePlay Streaming offers affordable video game streaming on any device that can run the game. Our pricing is pretty standard. For the standard edition, it starts at $15, which grants you basic streaming capabilities of all the games on there. Then we have for our Plus members, you do get some benefits like day one access to some games from big developers, as well as some games that you can keep and actually download to your device if you choose to. And then our Ultimate membership starting at $69.99 allows you to A, play older video games from older consoles such as the PlayStation 2 and original Xbox, and also gives you some exclusive downloadable content for games. Our first topic that we will be discussing today is the Porter 5 forces analysis. Our first force is buyer power. The buyer power is high due to limited competition, so customers do have a huge say on what we put out on our service. This will heavily dictate what games we can put out, because if customers don't want to play, well then no one's buying. Customer feedback will be very crucial to our success. I see it as personally a strength. This feedback will be crucial in order to figure out what kind of games people want to be playing. The existence of Xbox Game Pass, which is the first cloud streaming service for video games to ever be made, will influence our marketing and pricing. We don't want to necessarily aim for the same niche they're aiming for. We want to differentiate ourselves so we can stand out and sell. Our second force is supplier power. This pollen is getting to me. The supplier power depends on which company we are trying to obtain rights to. For big developers such as Activision and Microsoft Game Studios, the supplier power is high. They are allowed to charge large numbers for their IP addresses since a lot of their games are AAA games and take months, even years to produce. But, and this is where I want most of the emphasis to be for GamePlay, it is low for indie companies. Indie companies are companies that are smaller than these bigger video game companies and therefore don't have as much resources to create video games. Doesn't mean that they're any worse or better, it just means that they have to be creative with how they create them. This will be beneficial for us because we can promote these games that people may not know about and they may not want to drop a full $60 on. So instead, they can subscribe to GamePlay Streaming and play them from our cache of games, and even better yet, stream them instead of download them and not have to pay. Threat of substitute is our third force. The real threat of substitute is low due to video game streaming being a quite new thing. People could just buy and play a video game like normal via putting it in a disc in a console or by downloading online, but this would require you to probably have an expensive PC or gaming device, and also you can't play that on the go, which is one of our biggest strengths. Threat of new entrants and competition is our fourth force. Threat of new entrants is high, actually, due to the rise in popularity of cloud gaming. A lot of people are jumping on this because they see the success. It's like the Netflix of the gaming world. The competition is low for now, but rumors have been going around that the big player PlayStation is actually looking to enter this field, which could cause a problem for us and especially Microsoft, which is one of their main competitors. Our SWOT analysis for gameplay is quite short. As you can see, we have more strengths than anything. Our first strength is first party support from all game developers, which means you will be getting the same updates at the same time as everyone else who paid for the game, as well as day one downloadable content. Day one access, like I just said, some games, also depending on your subscription, you can play day one, free to download and play anytime, anywhere. Um, no downloads, so you can play it on the cloud. You can download these games if you want, but it's better to play on the cloud. Um, our weaknesses is connection issues in less developed areas. If you do live in a mountainous region or in a city that's quite not developed or a less developed country, you might experience latency/input lag, which is basically if I click the joystick, it might take a second to show up on the screen. And then also, we're on a lower budget than Xbox and any other big company like PlayStation. So that is definitely a setback. Now, on the other hand, on the opportunities, we have an untapped industry that not a lot of people are in, which gives us a lot of room to market ourselves and to differentiate ourselves from any competition. Indie games, like I mentioned before, is a big opportunity. The mobile platform, which surprisingly not a lot of people have tapped into. There are a lot of casual gamers in this world that just don't have the time to be full dedicated gamers, that I think is a big source of revenue. And support for older games, which I haven't seen anyone do on a streaming service, so that'll be great. The only two threats is new entrants, obviously, and then negative press, which if people leave bad reviews, no one's gonna want to subscribe with us since we don't have the cachet of big companies. Our three generic strategies: cost leadership strategy, differentiation strategy, and focus strategy. Our cost leadership strategy is our competitive pricing starting at $15 monthly, going all the way up to $69. Obviously, the 15 a month was our target for the younger people who don't have the budget for paying $60 for every game they want to play. So obviously, streaming might be a little smarter. Our differentiation strategy is gaming anywhere and gaming on any device. Obviously, that's our main shtick. We want you to be able to play these games anywhere, anytime, no matter day, rain, shine, anywhere. Our focus strategy is exclusives on gameplay streaming, meaning exclusive titles, as well as exclusive downloadable content that you can only get on gameplay streaming, such as cosmetics or full-on weapons in games, or it all depends on what kind of game you're playing, but we want you to get the full experience from us. That concludes our presentation. Thank you so much for considering GamePlay for your gaming endeavors, and I hope to see you online.